My name is Haley Hyam. This is me. So I am an OMS 2 wife. OMS, if you are unaware, as I was before I wrote this slide, it is osteopathic medical school, or medical student, there you go. And Air Force wife to my husband Michael. This is my little 7-month-old daughter Addie. I just graduated from, not just, I guess, I graduated from BYU, and I am a lover of people, books, and the outdoors.
I'm Jessie Sturr. This is my cute family. My husband is also a second year. His name is Wayne Sturr. We have 3 kiddos. Lydia is 4.5, and she is a cute little chatterbox. And I will take, is it Hallie? That was our keynote speaker, Haley. I would love to see her little girl and my little girl in the same room, because Lydia is the biggest personality that I personally know. And then Xavier is 2.5, and he's as sweet as can be, and Liam is 3 weeks old today. So those are our kids. I graduated from Utah State. I'm a true Aggie, if you know what that means. And I graduated in 2017 in Family and Consumer Sciences Education, and I love being a stay-at-home mom currently. I love to make beautiful things is the best way to explain it. I love crafting, sewing, cooking, baking, interior design, putting together fun activities for my kiddos, anything like that I love. I love binging TV shows. I'm currently into Survivor. It is the best. It's so good. When I saw your list, I was like, Holly, he's gotta love Survivor. And I love reading cheesy romance novels. So that's a little bit about me.
Hello, my name is Alejandro. I go by Alex. My wife is Diana Arias. She's second year. Been married for 17 years. We have 3 beautiful kids. Got a 9-year-old, 10, and 14. I was a flight attendant. Well, I guess I am. I just took a leave for 4 years. I'm not going back, I don't know. But I did that for 15 years, so I've been in Miami. I've been around the States and international. I love sports, trying to get in, trying to get, I guess, the perspective of the male. Just staying home because that's what happened to me. I was the one working, and now I'm home with the kids. It's been a year. Been interesting.
I am Holly Cox. I'm actually a 3rd year, and my husband Tyler, we live over by Riviera Palms, if anyone knows where that is. Over by Costco, yes. You guys are probably all by like Blackhawk, I'm guessing, is where you live, or by the school. Anybody want to answer that? Where do you all live? Really? I'm seeing a lot of no's. Where do you live?
Washington.
Oh wow, okay. Anyone else?
Bloomington.
Bloomington. Oh, you got a Walmart. That's nice.
Hey, we got a Walmart.
Okay, well, I am over by the Costco Walmart. And yeah, we're 3rd years. We love playing sports, board games. Brandon Sanderson. Any fans of Brandon Sanderson? Brother? Guys, you need to read books. Brandon Sanderson is a god of the authors. We also love mountain biking. He got me into it. I used to not love it, but the desert mountain biking is a lot more fun than what you would expect. And yeah, that's pretty much me.
All right, so we decided to put together our guiding principles, quote unquote. So the idea of this was kind of to show that everyone will do medical school differently. As much as we would love to give you a list of things that you should follow, and if you follow them, then you'll turn out great and everything will be perfect. That's just not how things are, as I'm sure you are aware. So these are our guiding principles, basically how we've made it through medical school. Our first year, we don't know if we've made it through yet. But, okay, so number 1, for mine, know your OMS's schedule. So my husband, Michael, writes his schedule on the board, on his whiteboard every day. And I make it a point to go into his room every morning, and I look at it and I see if anything interferes with my schedule, so that we have the same expectations for how the day will go. And then if we have a conflict, we'll work through it. Number 2 would be being patient. The beginning is really hard. I'm not going to lie, but it gets better. It really does, and you just need to hang on to that. I remember Michael just has he's a super even keel guy, but he had a really hard time in the beginning. Had a few mental breakdowns because this is harder than anything he's ever done. And at that point, it was really important for me to be there for him and to reassure him that he was smart enough and he was a hard enough worker, and if he gave it his all, that it would turn out okay. And it has, and it's been wonderful. So at that point, breaks were rare and far between, but it did get better as time went on and as he got into a groove. So I promise that it gets better, just be patient. Number 3, make time for each other. I think this is so important. My husband, he typically takes lunch for, I think it's an hour that he takes. We eat together for a half hour, and then another half hour we nap together. It's awesome. And then often we have an hour for dinner, sometimes an hour and a half at like 6, and then he goes back to study until 10:30, and we go to bed. And then he takes off Sunday time. He takes off all of Sunday, and every other week we have a date night. So I don't tell you that to say this is what you need to do, but that is what has worked for us. And the time your significant other will be able to take off is completely, up to you guys. It depends on them and their study habits, so be patient with them as they seek to create those study habits. And then the 4th one, you can just click that one more time, thanks, Katie, is remember to take care of yourself. I think this is my number 1 plug. I think it's really easy to forget that you also have needs, but I think it's important to follow your dreams, to continue to push yourself, to have fun by yourself. And I would also say here to prioritize your mental health, to get help when you feel like you need it, to reach out to your significant other, but also to healthcare professionals if you're really struggling. So yeah.
Okay, so my guiding principles. Having a family is possible. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I've got a whole slide for it. But having a family in med school truly is possible. Clearly, I just had a baby 3 weeks ago, so, prioritize date night. That's a huge thing for me. Like Haley said, they do it every other week. We do ours every week. And that's something that we decided on when we first got married. And it's not like how it used to be. A lot of times it really is just staying in and doing something fun at home. A lot of Netflix and chill at our house, but that's okay. That's good. It's time that we have together and set apart for us. It is an adjustment, like Haley said. It's different for everybody, but it's going to be different than anything you've ever experienced, and that's okay. But just to be patient with your student and with yourself and with your family, and adjusting as you need to, and adjusting during it, not just having one set thing, but figuring out it as you go. And it is going to take you a while to figure out and get into your group, and that's okay. And then to get involved. We'll talk about some things in a little bit, like clubs and groups that you can be a part of, and do it. And just like our keynote speaker had said, make friends early on. All of you are here because I'm assuming you either have a family or you're going to have one soon. And by family, I mean kids. And you guys are all in a similar situation, if that's the case. So these could even be your friends right here in this room. So maybe after, take a minute and mingle. And friends are definitely things that help, like people that help you get through, and they know your situation, and they're very important.
All right, so first thing, it could be done. Now, it is hard at the beginning. It's for me as a male, for me it was a big change. The budget, the kids, scheduling, and I think in your mind you just have to say that you can do it. You can do it because it has been done. Family's priority. I mean, that's the first thing. I think for me, selfish, everything that I just throw it out of the window, just out the window, and just think about my wife and my kids. I don't know how to cook. YouTube is my best friend. Yeah, because they got tired of mac and cheese every day. So it's my best friend. Keep a schedule. Make sure like I keep my wife's schedule on the refrigerator next to my kids' schedule to know what they're doing that day. You know what time they you know, we have 2 floors, so I know like around 12 o'clock, lunch, she comes out, she gives me 20, 30 minutes with me. The kids are in school, so that's like our time. Even going to the mailbox together, that's our time too. Make sure you have quality time with your spouse. I think otherwise it's gonna, you know, something that it could become a problem. You have to have time. Do not go to sleep without talking, or how many of you having a problem that day, or you're feeling lonely. Talk to your spouse, like before you go to bed. Do not go to bed having problems, because that will build up. And that's it.
Deep advice. I like it. My guiding principles: find your desert lifestyle. There is like everything here in St. George. I think the only thing that's not here is ice fishing. Sorry, not offered. But everything else, like, get uncomfortable with what you like. You never know what you do like, so I just try it all. And also use the Facebooks that well, I think it's on here, but use the Facebook groups that the RVU has. There's like so many times I've just put stuff out there and like, hey, I'm gonna be here today. And then like 10 people show up. I'm like, cool, what are your names? And it's just fun. It's like a little party. That also kind of goes along with start and join a club. Like before COVID hit, I was trying to do like a sports club for significant others because I love to play sports to get my stress out and get my alone time. And so that was something I started. It was fun. That's pretty much it. Just be friendly. And there's not pressure to be friendly either. Like, I wasn't social the first like 6 months that I was here, and that's just because I had a baby. He was 3 months, and I wasn't sleeping at night, you know, newborn. So, but I took my time and got to know people, and there's a lot of great people to know, and it's a lot more fun if you have a few good friends. Yeah.
I'm gonna take a pause real quick and ask. By raise of hands, how many of you have at least one kid? Okay, 2 kiddos. It's okay that you're alone. I went into my first year with 2 and no one else did, and that's okay. And then also I want to preface, all of us on here, our student is our spouse. So we apologize for using that terminology, but we'll do our best to say like partner or student or what have you, but that's why we're saying it in the way that we are, so.
All right, so we've got 3 sections here that we felt like most of the things we wanted to talk about fit into. So number 1 is social, number 2 is fun, and number 3 is finances. All right, so get involved, make friends, socialize as a family.
Okay, so this is like, again, I mentioned before, family is possible. This is the number 1 thing that I feel so strongly about. And forgive me for looking down, I have notes on my phone. But family totally is possible in med school, and a lot of people don't think that it is. Expect things to be different and difficult. I went into med school thinking it was gonna be the most impossible thing ever. And for me, it wasn't. But I think it's good to go in with the mindset that it's gonna be so stinking hard, and if it's not, yes, it's awesome. But things will be different than they ever have been before, and that's good. And it is difficult, but that's okay, because you can do it. As Haley said, no one's died going to med school yet, at least that's all that I know of, you know? But your student may be gone more than you've previously experienced, and it may be at different times than that you're used to. They may have been working nights before and now they're gone during the day or what have you, but things are gonna be different and it'll be okay. But do what's best for your family because every situation is so different. I know like partners to the students that their student might be gone from dawn till dusk and they literally never see them. And that was their choice, and that's okay. For us, it was different. For us this year, we're doing where my husband, honestly, he was home almost every single night for dinner. Not every night, but most nights for dinner, and he has almost always helped me put our kids to bed. And that's just something that we prioritize. And everyone does it different, and that's okay. But to us, family dinner and family time is so important and so crucial. He'll have occasional study breaks, like this picture is in the top with all four of us. That was at an Easter egg hunt. I think it was a Saturday before a test. Michelle was like, I think it was. But he was it wasn't like necessarily like an RVU Easter egg hunt, but a couple of us were there and then a couple other people from the community, like from St. George area. And he was the only student there. I just told him, I said, Wayne, I think you need to take a 2-hour break. Let's go do this together as a family, because it meant a lot to us to have that memory together as a family, and that was just something that we prioritized and wanted to have. But encourage them too to still be human. Yes, they're in med school, yes, that is so important, but they're also people too, just like you are. Like, you're not just the partner, you're not just a wife, you're not just the girlfriend, that you are a person, and your student is too. Encourage them to go do mountain biking, or read Brandon Sanderson, or go golfing, or play racquetball with friends, or pickleball. Pickleball's huge down here. Encourage them to do something that they enjoy. This one I am huge on, is don't delay having kiddos just because of med school. There is never a convenient time to have kids, ever. Yeah, yeah. But there is never a convenient time. I've always known school with kids, because Lydia, my oldest, we had her and I had a year of school left and I finished. It's hard, but you can do it. You totally can do it. Like I said, and like, words are so hard. I've said it again, I'm repeating myself, but I had a kid 3 weeks ago, and we're still going into med school, and I'm figuring out the newborn stage again while in med school, and it's not easy, but it's possible. And my mom even still, she's like, when we came into med school, she's like, just wait until you're done to have more kids. Well, you know, we had a baby. And she's even still, like last week, she's like, just wait until you're done to have another one. And I said, Mom, thank you so much for your advice. We'll have kids when we feel like we need to have our kids. And if you need someone in your corner, girlfriend, I will totally back you up. That you have your kids when you are supposed to, it will all work out. But take advantage of your free weekends. By free weekend, I mean they have like a Friday test and they don't have anything for a few days into the next week. That's what I consider a free weekend. If they have a Monday test, you ain't gonna see them that weekend. Like, not as much, at least. And that's okay. It varies when they have a Friday test or a Monday test or a Wednesday test. But take advantage of those free weekends. Have a list of things that you might want to do on those free weekends, so that when Saturday comes around, you're not twiddling your thumbs sitting around for hours trying to think like, oh, what could we do? And then your day is gone. We always had a list of things that we could go do, like go to a splash pad, go to a park, go to the Children's Museum, which is super fun, or go on a hike, or do other fun things, go to a pool. But have a list of things that you could do with them. And communicate, set a plan, and adjust as needed. I still talk with my husband, my student, about things that are going on with our kids, things I want to get them involved in, like having Lydia do gymnastics, or what the plan is for preschool and things like that. He's still very much involved, and I want him to be. I want him to be a part of our family. He is. He's a very big part of our family. The MSP website, it's Future Student Doctor. Thank you, that's what it is. Supporting Your Future DO. There's a blog within that, and it's super awesome. I think it's like the hidden gem that I don't even know if current MSP people know about it. It's super awesome. And there's some really awesome posts. There haven't been posts for a little while, but there's a lot on having children within medical school. So I highly recommend you go and checking that out. There's some really, really good posts in there. And one of them says that it will get easier to not have your student involved, meaning like not having them around. Like, it will get easier because you don't see them a lot. But when they are around, encourage them to join in on the fun. but yeah, just having that plan and setting your priorities and talking with them about what's important to you and how you want to go about your med school journey as a family, because you're doing it together. And you have a super supportive community. MSP really is amazing. You make so many good friends. I'm still meeting people that I haven't known. Like I met Holly tonight. I mean, we've talked previously, I guess, but it's really an awesome thing, a really awesome community. You're gonna love it here at RVU. But yeah, family's possible.
Oh,
That's it.
all right. So that was all such good advice. No, it was awesome. So, MSP clubs and groups, like Jesse mentioned, these are, so we had orientation last year and it was combined with the Colorado campus. I remember a really sad moment because it was all over Zoom. You guys are so lucky. This is in person, even though you're wearing masks. It's so much better than what we had. But there's a really sad moment where somebody from Colorado, so they were talking about all of the incredible things that RVU has to offer, and started talking about MSP in Southern Utah. And somebody from Colorado said, so is there something like this in Colorado, on the Colorado campus? And somebody said, no, sorry, you guys are kind of on your own. So this is really an incredible area to be in. It's such a supportive community, and you are bound to make friends if you want to make friends. So the first one is our significant others page. Feel free to take pictures of this. I think it'll be posted later. The sports group that Holly created. Did you say that? You're so cool. That's a really fun one. There's soccer, volleyball, basketball, just everything. There's flag football. Book club. I can't speak for book club. I haven't been to book club, but fun. Yeah, me too. Just join all of these, and if you don't end up going, it's fine. But all right, okay, next one. And then we've got our craft club. That is super fun.
It's so fun. It is so fun.
And then we've got discounts and deals. This is one of my favorites. Michelle, raise your hand. Michelle Hall over here is a gem of a human and made this page. And it's great. Yard sale group. So buy and sell anything including skills. So on this page I've seen things like photography sessions, babysitting sessions, just like all sorts of fun things. So you definitely want to be on that one. Let's see, do we have Hope here? Okay, Hope is also a gem of a human, and she was a family finance tutor at BYU. If any of you went to BYU, that was a fun class. I think she was a tutor for the family finance class for 4 years, and she created all of these videos to learn how to budget, invest, manage your loans with her, and I think she's going to be doing it again this year live. So stay tuned for that. And then this last one is the freezer meal swap, which Jesse didn't let me forget. I have not been involved in that one, but I'm sure it's awesome. Connect by trading meals and learning new recipes.
That's pretty great. Real quick plug-in for MSP activities. Yeah, Mercedes Stan. She is the activities rep on the presidency. It's super awesome to be a part of activities committee. I was a part of it last year. You was too, right? And as I say it right, I knew you were. But it's super fun. A couple of fun things. Some favorite things to start doing. I think August 18th, August 17th. You changed it. 8 p.m. Okay. That's okay. So the favorite things. You'll see it. Favorite things is super fun. I won't explain it now. You'll hear details about it. We did retro yoga last year. Super fun. There was a painting night over Zoom. There was a baking night once. We did a bunch of different stuff. Other fun outings that weren't necessarily scheduled by the activities committee that were really fun. There's peach picking. Alex went with his girls and had a blast. Baby showers. They had fun at Fire Lake a couple weeks ago. Just different things like that that are awesome.
And these are all things that we did during COVID. So imagine how awesome life
Yeah, I have to put a plug. Next Wednesday is our ice cream social at
next Wednesday.
8 p.m. 7:30. 8 p.m. At Iowa City Park. If you've seen the thing before, it said it was here. We can no longer have it here. It's down the street. Iowa City Park. Be there. It'll be so fun. Can you bring kids? Bring your kids.
Bring them to everything.
Kids are always welcome, but sometimes you just need a night out. You know?
But save that for your things.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. I got my answer, so I don't even know what I'm gonna say.
No, you need to share.
I think the most important thing is, so you have to support your spouse, and it's just, and make friends. If you don't make friends, it's gonna be a lonely 3-4 years. For me, it was hard because I was like probably the only male with kids, so I had to show up with all females, and I was the only guy. But I mean, you just have to put yourself out there, and you will make friends. What else? So male. It was hard at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, it was very hard. But I guess with time, you adjust what you need. You know, your spouse, your time with the spouse, they will know when they're gonna have time, and they'll share with you, and just to be together, because you guys have to be on the same page. I don't know, I'm just making a big thing that, because that's very important. Because if something fails in the relationship, it could turn bad pretty quickly. So just have time for each other, talk about anything, the problems that you're having, anything. Because it did help me a lot. Every night we have our time, 30 minutes, and we talk about everything. And we made it. We made the first year, and now the second year. I think it's been harder now in the summer to have the kids home. She's in school now, and I didn't have. It was my fault. I didn't have nothing ready. But there's so much things to do inside just with your kids. So just go in there, go into the webpage and to our Facebook webpage, and just you will get ideas from there. Okay.
So this is about raising families, right? For me, helping me raise my family, it revolved mostly around fun. And I had to do it a lot by myself, which was fine. Do I go to the next slide? So these are just some things we've done in like the past year or so. There's a lot of cool places, and I'm gonna focus on maybe the lesser known ones, because you probably all know about like St. George, Downtown Splash Pad, or Thunder Junction.
I'm taking notes.
Right, so this picture of the river, the kind of top right corner, that we live right next to that. That's called Fossil Falls, and it's great for little kids to just go splashing.
Or Virgin River Skimboard Park.
Yes, yeah, if you Google it, you can find it with that. And it has waterfalls, and there's like cool water springs. Because honestly, the Virgin River feels like that water, because it's so hot. But there's like springs that come up, and they feel so good in the summer heat. And it's really fun for kids to just explore. Also, that picture where he's on a mountain bike, and my little boy is looking at him. There's like a bike park over by Snow Canyon High School. There's like some cool tricks. I don't know if your husbands are into it, or you are, or partners. If they're into mountain biking, it's a fun park, and it's used a lot. It's really popular, and people go have fun. This picture down in the corner, Jamaica Falls. Has anyone heard of that? Okay, it's a sweet spot. It's like under a freeway, and it's like, it looks tropical. It's very pretty. I would recommend going during the day. I think hard parties happen at night is what I've heard. So go during the day. This one where I'm like stuck in a wedge, that was something I just discovered this year, the Narrows. But it's not the Narrows of Zion, it's the Narrows of St. George. It's basically just a crack you walk up, and it's pretty hard to do, but it was actually really fun to do. And my 2-year-old just walked straight up it. He didn't have to, wiggle his way. There's rock climbing, there's mountain biking, there's a lot of hiking. You should definitely get an annual pass to Snow Canyon, so you have access to that, and national parks, because you got like 5 around here or whatever, 3, I don't know what it is. There's a lot of stuff. I know Dixie, I don't know if you have to be a student though. If you have access to a Dixie student, they got paddle boards for 15 bucks you can rent all day. That's a good deal. Because everywhere else it's like 25, but 25 is not bad either. Snow Canyon also, the campground, there's a first come first serve. So because you live here, you have a good shot getting that campground. It's a nice campground and it's a beautiful area to be in. Trying to think of what else. EBT stuff. So if you want to go to a museum, you should look up and see, EBT covers a lot of museums. Children's Museum is free with EBT. That's over in what? Okay. I know Dinosaur Museum gives a discount for EBT. And I looked it up on the internet once, and there was like, I've seen Thanksgiving point on there and stuff.
We just went to Salt Lake City this weekend.
That's amazing.
There's a lot of little things that goes to Salt Lake
Yeah.
City. You can get it for free.
So look it up. Use that EBT. Get in access. Children's Museum is really fun for little kids and for parents because they just run around and go crazy. Oh, okay. I think that's pretty much everything.
Okay, some Instagram accounts if you want to screenshot them or just take a picture of them. You can't take it. Anyway, so are we gonna post this too, Katie?
Yeah.
Cool. So RVU-SU, this is the one that's for your student. That's actually my cute hubby in the corner, being spotlighted, and that's actually our family on the RVU-SU MSP one. That's funny. So RVU-SU is for your student. RVU-SU MSP is for you. St. George Eats is for everyone. Just really cool eats in town, just the list of all the best places. St. George Kids is actually run by Michelle's sister. Super awesome page, list of parks, splash pads, cool events. She's been doing different like scavenger hunts, super fun stuff. St. George Moms is pretty similar, or it's also run by Rika too, right? And that's more of like a way to make more mom friends outside of MSP. Southern Utah Mama is similar to St. George Kids, but I prefer St. George Kids, quite honestly. So, finances, still me. Get the help you want and need. So she talked about this in the keynote speaker. So Medicaid is medical program for low income. SNAP or EBT or food stamps, it's all the same thing. Also, it's a food-based program for low income. It's authorized at various grocery stores, apparently gas stations, Papa Murphy's, which I forgot about, but thank you for the reminder. And it's just like a card, and every month on a certain date they'll put in X amount for your family. And then WIC is for women, infant, and children. If you're pregnant, nursing, or you have a child that's 5 or under, then you get, again, food on a monthly basis. It's more specific, where EBT is cash, well, money, and WIC is specific food items that you have for you and your children.
So SNAP, that has to do with your savings in your bank account, right? So if you have more than like
2,500.
thank you. Then if you have more than $2,500, you don't qualify for it. And then WIC basically will qualify for it. They don't look at your savings, they look at your income. So you will qualify for it. Is anybody in here military track? Military? Okay, you will still qualify for that. We are still below the poverty line with that. Okay.
Another program they have is called HEAT. That's for your electricity. They will help you. It depends. I mean, we figured out that they help us like with $500. It's a lot of help. Because I mean, in the summer, they could run up to $270 a month. So it's called HEAT. You just fill out the application. Again, they'll ask you for the loan, how much you get in loans, but they don't count. It doesn't go against you. Okay?
And we'll post all of those benefits and stuff on our website and our blog, and we'll probably do it last.
Thanks, Mercedes. And actually on the next slide too, when we do post this link will take you to this resource, and HEAT is listed on there as well. I just mainly wanted to focus on Medicaid, SNAP, and WIC because that is especially pertaining to families. But yeah, so that resource goes there as well. Discounts and deals real quick. The Striving Student Card is $30 and it's an app, it's not an actual card.
It's worth it.
We've saved $170 and we've only had it for a couple months. Dixie Direct is $20. I personally don't have this one, but it is a super awesome resource. That one is a book with a card that then you have only certain things that you can use it for. But awesome things. And then the discounts and deals page that Haley had talked about as well. You got this. You can do it. That's most fun. I don't want you to sound like us to make it sound scary. It's hard, but it's awesome. You guys are such a great community. We're very lucky for the community that we have. Not every med school has this. Not even RVU-SU has this. We're very lucky, very blessed, and we're excited to meet all of you. I'm excited to mingle as much as we can with COVID. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and we'll head out the back doors. We'll go over back to where we were before, and we'll go to the Q&A session with that other panel.